During our first quiz, we saw how to draw a histogram using Microsoft Excel. However, that was a default histogram generated by Microsoft Excel itself. We didn't have any control over the number of class intervals or the widths of those class intervals. But often we would like to draw our own histograms to accommodate a number of class intervals as we wish. So today we are going to see how to draw a more customized histogram using Microsoft Excel. To do that, we will need a specific tool. That tool is called Data Analysis Toolpack. Today, I will also show you how to obtain the Data Analysis Toolpack. The Data Analysis Toolpack will repeatedly be used in the future as well. Let's see how to import the Data Analysis Toolpack. Here's Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. To import the Data Analysis Toolpack, these are the steps that should be followed. You have to go to File, click that, click on Options, click on Add-ins, and click on Analysis Toolpack, click on Go, and check this box, Analysis Toolpack. Click on OK. Now we have successfully imported the Data Analysis Toolpack. If you go to Data right here, you will see the Data Analysis Toolpack right here. So this is how the Data Analysis Toolpack is imported. Here I have a data set. It's a quantitative data set, weights in pounds, and these are my data points. And I would like to draw a histogram. To draw the histogram, I will first need to divide the range, that means between minimum and maximum, into a set of class intervals. So to do that, I will first need to find the minimum and the maximum. Let's say I would like to find the minimum for the cell D6. So on C6, I will indicate that I'm going to calculate minimum. I would like to find the maximum for the cell D7. So on C7, I will indicate it as maximum. Okay, so you already know how to calculate these two descriptive statistics. You can simply go to function fx and select the function min to calculate the minimum. There's a different approach as well. I can simply start with the equal sign and type the command. This time I need to find the minimum. So equal sign min open parentheses. I can select the first cell with that shift control down arrow key, close parentheses, and then simply hit enter. That will calculate the minimum. And if you don't like to do it that way, simply do it like how we did it in the second quiz. Select the cell where you would like to have your answer. Go to FX. Category is statistical, and then select the function min. I have selected the function min, click on OK. Click on this little arrow, select the first data point, shift control down arrow key will select the entire data set. And then you can move your cursor back to this little arrow, or simply you can hit enter. And there's no second set of numbers. Click on OK. So that's how we can calculate minimum. And then similarly, we can calculate the maximum. We may start with the equal sign and type max, open parentheses, and then select the first data point, shift control down arrow key, we select all the data points, and then we can close parentheses and then hit enter. That will calculate the maximum. And if you don't like it that way, you can simply select the cell where you would like to have your answer. Go to FX, select category as statistical, and then scroll down until you see the function max. So select the function max, click on OK, and click on this little arrow, select the first data point, shift control down arrow key, and then that will select the entire data set, and then hit enter, and then hit enter again. So the minimum data point is 164.77. The maximum data point is 231.37. Next, we can define the upper limits of the class intervals. Approximately, I have to go from about 160 to 235. Zeros and fives are nice numbers to have as endpoints of the class intervals. So that region from 160 to 235 will be selected as the interval to draw the histogram. And then I will divide that interval into class intervals, each class interval with a length of 5. And those upper limits are called bins. So I'm going to create a column consisting of bins. So the first bin is 160. That's where I'm going to start my histogram. And the second point will be 165. The third point will be 170. And the next point will be 175. And the next point will be 180. And so on. I can go up to 235. Well, you don't need to enter one by one like that until 235. After entering 3 or 4 numbers, MS Excel will automatically understand the sequence. Therefore, there's a fast alternative to define those upper limits of the class intervals. After entering about 3 or 4 numbers, select all that you entered. You can start from the first cell where you entered 160 for this example. Press Shift, and with that, press the down arrow key. So select the first 3 or 4 numbers that you have entered already, and then move your cursor to the right bottom corner and see how the shape of the cursor changes. Now it has become like a thick black cross. Earlier, it was a large white cross. And move it to the right bottom corner. It has now become a thick black cross. Left click and then drag down until you see 235, which is our ending point. Okay. Now I'm going to stop and release the left mouse click. That has created all the bins that I need. These are going to work as the upper limits of the class intervals. Now we are all set to draw our customized histogram. We go to data right here and then select data analysis. And then you can see histogram right here. Select histogram, click on OK, and then I can define the input range. Input range means the data set. Click on this little arrow, and I may include the variable label as well, provided I have also written down the variable label for bins. Since I have written down those variable labels, I can start selecting from the variable label itself. Otherwise, simply select only the data points. Okay, for this case, I have selected the variable label, and then with that, Shift Control down arrow key. That selected the entire data set. I can move my cursor back to this little arrow and click that, or you can simply hit Enter. And then I need to define the bin range. I will click on this little arrow. I need to scroll up this page. I can see bins right here. Earlier, when I selected the dataset, I have included the variable label. So I need to be consistent with the selection of bins. So when I select these bins, I will select the variable label first. And with that, Shift Control down arrow key. That selected the entire set of bins. And then we can simply hit Enter. Since for both input variable and bin range, I have included the labels, I need to check this box. Okay, and then the output range. I would like to have the output on this page itself on MS Excel. So I will check this little circle, output range. Now I can click on this little arrow and simply select an empty cell somewhere outside of the data range. So I will select a cell somewhere here. That's where I'm going to see my output. Click on this little arrow, and then I need the chart output. So make sure to check this last box right here, chart output. Unless you check that box, it will not generate the histogram that we need. All right, that's basically all we need to input, and then simply click on OK. So here's the histogram that we just drew. If you need to copy this and paste onto a docx file, you can move your cursor to the histogram, left click, it will select the histogram, and then right click, select copy, and then you can paste it onto a docx file. And make sure to save that as a PDF before uploading on Canvas. We can do some modifications for this histogram. If you would like to introduce a different title for the histogram, you can simply select that one and double click and change the title. And you may click on this plus sign and give labels, x-axis, y-axis, and all these things can be changed. Anyways, you can figure them out yourself. All right, so that's basically all you will need for your third quiz. Thanks. Bye-bye.